Good morning. We are glad to be with you on this very special day. The day that many of you are feeling more amplified and more centered in your being than ever before. We are more and more excited to share in your opening as there is a greater understanding of what exactly is happening to your consciousness and your physicality as you ascend. But we have come to a profound recognition that we would like to share with you. We feel like today's consciousness is the perfect timing to deliver this message. And so we are going to ask you all to settle in. Settle in. Let your breath slow. Get comfortable. Over the years of working with Crystal, there is data that has been collected. As you know, this is a part of our mission together. We give her data that she is able to put together and articulate into these messages. And in return, she shares with us data of how your collective is doing, where everybody is vibrating, and where you need assistance the most from us, the team on the outside. And so today, we want to talk to you about your gifts. We want to talk to you about the mentality surrounding your gifts. There are many people that are very eager to open up to their abilities, and it is very exciting. We are excited for you and this next adventure that you are having with the mechanism of your body. But we would also like to share with you that it is not enough to open up your body to its capabilities. What we are going to ask of you is that you work on your inner communication, that the gift you strive towards first is that of communication with Source and your high intelligence. Because from there, the pathway can be unveiled for you in a very effortless form. And there is no confusion, because the information of what your gifts are and how to navigate the unfolding of them is not coming from an outside source. Your physical body holds many magnificent ways of expressing itself. But the greatest of all of these ways of expression is going to be the pathways of communication that you create with your inner being. So we lovingly advise that as you move through this journey of ascending consciousness and ascending the physical realm you are currently in, that you focus deeply on your internal communication. It doesn't matter where you are at in your life at this particular phase in your journey. When you are coming inside, when you are taking the steps needed to make sure that you are opening up these pathways of communication with your soul and with the Source, jobs get easier, leaving the matrix gets easier, your abundance, money gets easier, your relationships get easier. Everything progresses because you are focusing on the internal development that opens you up to the higher dimensions. But when you are looking at navigating and opening, that is local, that is, how do we express this? a niche market in all that you can do. We just feel like it is going about it in a little bit of a backwards way. We haven't seen it to be as beneficial as maybe the humans currently believe at this time. And how do you focus on your communication, one may ask? You must slow down your body. Throughout time and the development of your technology on your planet, your body has been highly overstimulated, and it lacks the necessary grounding that is needed to bring the energy forward. And while there are healing modalities that are ready for you, that are opening up to the collective on the planet at this time, it is not necessarily in your highest interest to delve into them without first opening to the communication of your inner being and the God force field. As there lies your instructions. When you are working with another healer, it is a very powerful co-creation, but it is not the source of your co-creation. The source of your co-creation is what you and the God force field discuss as you intermingle thought and frequency, feeling and frequency. And the revelations that are handed to you from the perfection of this beautiful creator energy will allow you to not only advance yourself in your opening in the ways that you are looking to, but it will align your history thus far in this life, allowing you to put your pieces together and make sense, find inner standing on the lessons and the ways you have catalyzed lessons for others. And the way you tune into this inner knowledge is, like we said, to slow down. If you are not hearing your inner being, it doesn't mean that something is wrong with you. It just means that we are still elevating in frequency to match the inner being and begin to decipher that communication. We want to dismantle the belief system that says communicating with your inner being, your highest intelligence in the source field, is something that is difficult and must wait until you progress further in frequency to attend to. It'll take you a very long way from your destination. And no matter which way you approach it, you will still come back to this place, as it is always between you and Source. It is always between the higher aspects of you, your soul, and Source. So we want to provide you with inspiration today to delve into more stillness, to find ways to pull yourself away from distractions and really begin to listen to your heart space. Currently, your heart space is the portal to all of the higher dimensions. We believe at times the third eye in the heart space gets a little confused. Your third eye being activated is what is going to open up the doorways and pathways for all of the potentials to come online for your soul to interact and express in this field. But your heart space is the portal to the communication. Your heart space is the telephone that you want to pick up. And for many of us, we don't realize how the reality we have been existing in has been zapping our nervous system, has been creating stress in your body. We tell Crystal all of the time, Even the humans that feel the most peaceful and stress-free are still under immense amounts of stress, primarily because they are operating from the mind. When you teach yourself how to begin to operate from the heart in stillness, not just expression of love and kindness, you allow your physicality to reset. You allow the frequencies in your body to go back to harmonious equilibrium. So we are going to encourage that you are outside as much as you can. And in the moments that maybe you find rest in things that keep your mind and your heart busy, you experiment a little with us. And maybe you just put some music on and lay there and let yourself exist. Let yourself exist, knowing that the higher aspect of you is right there with you, existing. And as you slow down all of your awarenesses of this human reality, you'll notice your heart opening up to the realization of your team. And at first, it's going to feel a lot like a presence, a love, a hug, a very strong energy. And as you continue to meet with this essence of your high being, you will find yourself merging. You will find yourself merging. Once you begin to merge with the higher aspects of your inner being, you can begin your gateway communication with the source field. Your inner being will communicate the source field energy through human dialect and words. Source will rarely speak to you in words. Rarely. The source field will give you the energy that you need to balance yourself out and recognize who you are within the oneness of everything that's being shown to you. Source will mirror to you all that you are, so that you can recognize it, so that you can feel it in your heart and your beingness. The way we have always described to Crystal that you have come into contact with the source field is a lot of times it is a very overwhelming energy that the human field cannot completely carry. So you will feel emotional. You will find yourself releasing from that spiritual hug that you are given that is more divine than any words that could be offered to you. And as you begin to play in that energy field and entertain who you are, co-creating with Source, very magical communication will open up for you. Because at this point, Source knows that you are ready to be a way shower, that you are ready to put aside all worldly things and connect back to the source of who you are. Of course, Source loves the human experience. Of course. But releasing man-made things allows you to come into the true frequencies of that energy. So we are going to recommend that you just continue to give yourself space as you open up to this communication. And please know that as you go through your ascent, your communication with your highest being, your highest fractal of your soul, and the God force field is the most important gift that you own. Everything else is the light overfilling from your cup that gets to get shared through your hands, through your heart, through your voice, however you choose. But the core energy that we are coming back to right now as a collective between the higher beings and the collective of humans on the planet, it's communication. It's communication. Communication with the higher dimensions. Communication with higher beings of light. They have been talking about first contact on your planet for a very long time. And this comes from the understanding of beings that are not human carrying a physical form. But how do you believe the contact is going to be made for those of us that are in light body, that are not carrying physical form? How are you creating your first contact? Contact has been here for a very long time. And the light beings are not the ones in your skies. They are here. They are you. You are balancing and aiding out the ascension process more than you could ever imagine. It's almost as though you are existing in two very real timelines. One that is very physical, where you, your physical self, are playing out your role here in this physical realm. While there is also a very real and alive aspect of you that is existing in a higher dimension, that is also living out this timeline in a higher form, understanding what's coming, understanding what's ahead, wanting you to have this information. And what if every day you just focused in on connecting to this being, connecting to this essence that exists in your heart portal? What if your daily practices were solely communication with Source? What would you be able to teach and communicate and share when you allowed yourself the elevation that's really here for you? We love you so much, but Reiki is not it. We love you so much, but human design is not it. These are tools, and they are powerful. But they are outside of you. They are outside of you. And they can open you in so many ways. But when it comes to the communication that you need to truly elevate your consciousness into higher realms, that is an inside job. That is an inside job. And the brave ones are few. But the possibility is for each and every one. Each and every one. You are ready. Your guidance is knocking on the door of your heart. The gifts that you share are powerful, but it's not it. It's not it. It's not it. We love you. And if we were in our shoes, we again would practice coming into the heart center, feeling that energy, being present with our breath, feeling that energy. We would create more moments of stillness throughout the day to help adjust for our frequency disturbances that are just happening by living in the society you're currently in. We would take time to adjust. We want to encourage each and every one of you to be very courageous during these energies. Healing and moving through a lot of the energy you've been moving through has created a foundation that is really going to benefit you. These foundational energies help keep you stable when the collective goes awry. These foundations remind you of where to turn. They remind you to come back to your heart when there's chaos. They remind you to come back to your heart when there's pain. So trust the foundational energies that you've built upon. Your inner being and source, they know what you want more than you could even describe with your own words. They know, we know what you want. And we are moving you towards it. But in order for you to trust this energy, you have to be immersed in it. We will say this is not the same journey for everyone, but Crystal had many guides show up along the way that helped her develop herself and heal, that taught her how to open her heart before she was ever allowed to come into contact with Auxil. Auxil is, like Crystal, stubborn at times. And at that moment, they were not willing to lower their vibration to come into contact with her, even though she was well along her ascension journey. So they sent along trusted guides from other lifetimes. They knew, Crystal's inner being knew, that she would trust these beings and that they would help her greatly. They taught her how to pull out of her masculine, action-oriented self and come into a divine feminine that knows how to receive. Those were two separate guides. One to slow down her masculine, took about a year, and one to amplify her feminine, trusting her intuition and receiving the guidance. That took approximately 9 months. And then from there, she moved on to another guide that aided her in self-realization. Because once you heal, you must realize yourself. You must notice who you are. You must be able to look yourself in the mirror and say, okay, I'm not from here. I'm bigger than this body. Show me. And as she's been moving through the self-realization process, her intuition, her vibration, her inner frequency, it rose very quickly. And that is when her inner being could come through and begin to give her the information that she was truly seeking. Begin to answer questions about herself and her lifetimes. Exactly why we're here doing what we're doing. So we want you to take it step by step. We understand the ascension is moving much faster now than it was when Crystal was going through her processes of opening up to her team. Of course, in the midst of that, always talking to the God Force field. But she didn't understand the God Force field back then. It didn't respond with words. And that created a bit of confusion. Every step of sitting with your inner being will help you understand where you're going next and who you are. And we do not want to bring down any modality because there are many beautiful ones out there. But there is not one modality that's going to connect you to God. There is not one modality that is going to bring you the information that your inner being will, that your soul will. It may drop you some nuggets. You may find some deep resonance. But the inner stillness and diving into the heart space and opening up to your own inner communication should be the largest part of your journey. It should be the largest part of your journey. Seek the light within you, and you'll never go wrong. Seek the light within you, and the confusion will melt away. Seek the stillness in your heart, and it will change you at the core of your being. For those who have been on this path for a very long time, they will tell you that they have studied every modality under the sun. But they are just now going through another very large awakening. Even if they've been awakened 20, 30 years, it's like it's happening all over again. Because it's not spirituality on the outside. It's connection on the inside. Connection. Connection on the inside. Your gifts matter because your purpose is to give them to this world in any way that you choose. You open your gifts through connecting with the God force field. And you do that by getting nice and cozy with your inner being and letting them lead the way. Your inner being is you. It is not some outside force. It is you. It is you. It is you. It is you. We love you. And we want you to continue to tread the waters of the inner self. We want you to get to know your being and get to know your heart and get to know Source through your heart. And everything gets revealed. Everything. We want you to know that there are many teams very close to each individual being right now. Each human on the planet could fill a football field. There are so many loved ones, mission partners, co-workers and collaborators that are visiting on a regular basis to encourage you through the thickest of times as you transition this energy into the new Earth grid. And we tell you that because we want you to know that you are never alone. Divine beings of light surround each of you. And should you take the time to listen, you'll hear the call. We are with you. We love you immensely. And we are so proud of everything you have been doing. Each of you cares so deeply about your planet, about your collective, and we hear you. We feel you. You are creating change. You are creating magnificent change. And soon you'll see it. You'll see it unfold right before your very eyes. Stay close to your heart. Stay close to each other. We are complete.